Good morning. Hey, Joanne.
Good morning, Your Excellency. Joanne is muted.
Well, we can see you anyway, even if we can't hear you.
That's not good.
Morning, Bill.
Good morning.
Welcome, Tiffany.
Thank you.
Barbara will tell you what to do, Tiffany, when to do it.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, I'll set it so that you'll be able to share your screen when you're ready.
Actually, I won't have one because of the weather. I've closed down the offices, so I don't have access to the building today. So
Oh, okay.
unfortunately, you just have to look at me or you can not look at me and such. So yeah, this weather's just thrown a wrench really in everything. So
Oh yeah, for everybody. I agree.
yes.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. You can bring us up to date on what's going on, and it's been a while since we've had an update, so we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
It'll be another day I get to shovel snow. The last day for a while, I hope.
I don't think there's any more coming for a while.
In the next hour or two, the flurries are supposed to quit, and
It's quit up here. I think we got another couple inches up here at the lake last night.
I think we got more than that here. Not a lot more, maybe 4 inches. I haven't been out. I usually go out and get the paper, and I have the paper read by now, but I avoided that this
Well, the
morning.
paper's probably not there anyway.
Actually, our deliverer has had the paper here every morning.
Well,
So,
Alan has had his too, but I keep getting phone calls from the world saying you won't get your paper today. You'll get it tomorrow.
I've gotten them the last 2 days too, but the papers keep showing up.
Well, good.
I think, as the readership, or at least certainly the people that get a subscription to the paper has dropped off. I think the number of people that make deliveries has dropped off, and it's a lot more consolidated. So you either have someone that does or someone that doesn't make the effort.
Well, up here, I just read it online. Morning, Steve.
Morning, everybody. I forgot to get my tea. I'll be right back.
Mine too.
Ready for bear now. Good morning, Joanne.
Good morning, Steve.
It's good to
Can
see
you
your
hear me?
smiling face.
Can you hear me?
Absolutely. I can hear you.
Good.
And you look great too.
Thank you. You need to call me and I'll tell you what happened to me last week.
Uh-oh. Okay, I'll give you a call when we're done here. Good morning, Tiffany. Thank you for coming.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You bet. I've got a load of towels that I need to bring by the store. Do I just drop them at the door? Is there someplace I can bring them in?
Well, I mean, when we're there, we're there Monday through Friday, normally 8 to 5. I did shut the office down Monday through Wednesday of this week. One,
Okay.
because of the weather, and two, we're trying to conserve energy, help out a little
Right.
bit since we can
Okay.
all work from home. But we should be in the office Thursday and Friday, barring any weirdness.
Okay. I'll contact you somewhere or another before I get there.
Okay, and just remember, we are in the new building, so it's
You'll tell us where
1607
that is
North
during the program.
Hartford. I will, yes.
Okay.
Good morning, all.
Good morning, Michael.
Mike.
Good morning.
like Barbara is up at the lake and doesn't have a big chiming clock behind her.
That's true. I don't. Well, I have chiming clocks up here, but I don't have the big one that I have at home that tells me it's 7 o'clock.
When is your appointment in the city for your nose?
Oh, I go down next week. I was supposed to go last week and the weather kept me from going, and I was supposed to go this week and I said,
Fred,
it ain't gonna happen. So I go
it's in my
next week.
purse, so I'm gonna put it by your phone.
Saying, look like a garlic bulb, huge, but hard.
Looking out my window and seeing a gentleman out there with a big shovel trying to clear his driveway. I'll be out there, but it's not gonna be till noon.
Morning, Laura. Morning, Andy. Hey, Joy.
Hello.
Bill, do you have Greta out there shoveling some snow?
Actually, I've been doing all the snow shoveling. I got the driveway all done and the sidewalk, and she did actually go out and shovel a little bit around the pool yesterday. I just told her not to fall in.
Did she obey?
Yes, that one time.
So it's a little futile to snow shovel when it's snowing again, eh?
No, not at all. It will be not nearly as deep to shovel it today.
Yeah, how much more are we getting?
It's so dry, it's pretty easy to do, so. But that is the one activity among men my age that causes probably more heart attacks than any other single activity. So one has to be careful.
That's the extremes of temperature that I think does it the biggest harm.
Well, and also it's that you get dehydrated very easily because you don't feel warm or anything, but yet as dry as the area is, you're giving off a lot of moisture and the exertion. So I just go slow.
Yeah, and you were told not to eat snow too.
Yellow snow.
I was told not to eat yellow snow, correct.
I heard that coming.
Hey, Linda. Hey, Janet.
Hey. Good morning.
Morning.
Hey, Gifty.
Anybody have any frozen pipes?
No.
No.
Thank goodness.
My kitchen cold water pipe froze up yesterday when it was 12 below. But I put a hair dryer underneath the sink, and sure enough, in no time at all, it thawed out.
Good.
We're okay.
No burst.
No leak. No burst.
Hey,
I had
Jim.
a couple.
Are you in Arizona, Jim, or are you back in Tulsa?
I'm in Arizona.
It's early there.
It is early. You are fortunate. I just decided to get up and join you this morning.
I'm glad.
What's the temperatures like over there?
42 degrees right now.
Oh, go away.
That is so cold.
You ask.
It was minus 15 here yesterday morning at my place.
That's a
Yeah,
record.
mine too.
Unbelievable.
Well, it's a positive 14 this morning, so it's warming up.
Yeah.
I think 6 was the low that my thermometer showed here, or 6 below. I was kind of surprised.
I think we
I
only
guess-
got down to 8 below.
Hey, Tamara.
I guess since we're rubbing it in, I'll tell you I'm in Puerto Vallarta.
Oh, no.
We were supposed to fly back today, but we've extended to March 1st.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Hey, I
So
have
I'm not-
I have friends who moved down there for good. So if you want somebody to call up and go to dinner with, holler at me.
Oh, fun. That'd be fun.
So Laura, did you end up just going there for a week and just decided to stay?
Yes, exactly.
You're like in a resort or hotel area kind of thing?
Yeah, we're actually going to move to a different hotel today. But yeah, we just thought I'm teaching from online, so why not?
Yeah.
Good reason. Good reason.
Hey, Carolyn,
Hi.
are you in Angel Fire or are you in
Oh, no,
Tulsa?
I'm still here. I just got my second shot.
Oh, good.
How about you? Are you still at the lake?
Yeah,
I figured that because how could you possibly get back?
I couldn't. Although I had painters, I'm having some inside painting done, baseboards and stuff, and they actually got here yesterday from Tulsa. I was amazed.
Wow.
Hmm.
Well, yesterday wasn't terrible, but I guess it's bad this morning. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see if they show up today or not.
Yeah.
It's beautiful though. It's so sparkly.
It
I
is pretty.
know it is. Hi, Linda.
Hi.
Morning, Bob. Hey, Megan.
Good morning.
And Megan.
Good morning.
Linda,
Uh-huh.
this is Joy. Any mail or did you get out?
I have not gotten out. Well, we
Okay.
got out, but we didn't get out of the car to go in.
Well, a Fred's supposedly going to head over there. That's where my dad has his post office box. So
Oh.
curious. Maybe I should
Yeah,
take the key for a couple of weeks. Till
That's
it
what I
falls
was
out.
just gonna say. Yeah, maybe I should put the key under the mat.
Well, yeah, he would do it. Is the room number, is the box number on the key?
Yes, it is.
All right, let me check with him.
Okay.
Would you go over to Linda's and get her the rotary mailbox key from under her mat? And then check both mailboxes?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, I got the best husband in the world.
You really do. That's marvelous. Okay.
No,
well,
no,
after
I
the
mean, I don't
meeting-
want to, okay.
Not to brag or
Okay, my
anything,
clocks
you
up
do.
here are chiming. So that tells me that it's time to start our meeting. Whoops. Is that correct? That's correct. Tim, are you on? Tim?
Oh,
Well, Tim is our Rotarian of the day.
I'm here.
Oh, you're here. I'm
Yep.
sorry. Okay. Okay, it's yours.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone.
Good
Why don't
morning.
we
Morning,
start with
Jim.
a prayer? So with everything that's been going on recently, I found a prayer on the internet yesterday called for an awakening in America. So God, we need you. As a nation, God, help us to desire righteousness more than rights and to mirror sacrifice more than selfishness. You know us well and you understand our flaws. Turn those weaknesses into strengths. Bathe us with your grace and mercy, though none of us deserve it. Fill us with the boldness to choose the kind of freedom that will benefit all rather than a few. Open our eyes to see others as you do, with godly potential and value, but help us too to recognize our own pride. We need you, God. Oh, how we need you. You have exercised nothing but faithfulness and fairness in your treatment of our country, even when we have turned our backs on you and forgotten your goodness to us. Your discipline at times is hard, but you are just. Your purpose is always to draw us close to you, to bless us, and to make us a great nation who honors you. You are a good, good Father, and your love for us has a proven track record. Amen. And with that, let's turn and salute the flag. The Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation,
under God,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank
All
you.
right, Barbara.
Thank you. Okay, Megan.
Hello. Good morning, everybody. Is everybody warm? I hope so. Oh my gosh, this weather's been crazy. So, well, do we have any guests this morning besides our speaker? Any guests? I'm looking. Doesn't look like it, I don't think. Okay. Any birthdays or anniversaries?
I have a birthday. This is
Ooh,
Tim.
happy birthday.
Yeah, not mine, but my oldest daughter, Zuri, is 26 years old today.
Wow.
I have to confess, I've got an anniversary. 34 years on Sunday. I owe you a check,
Congratulations.
Mike, baby.
Any others? Congratulations, Barbara.
Thank you.
All right. What about Happy Bucks? Any Happy Bucks? Oh, Virginia. Yes. Okay.
Well, I don't know if you all saw our newsletter, but my children's greenhouse has finally been printed in the Country Home magazine, and it's pretty amazing. I'll tell you a little bit about it quickly. My son built it with the help of his older brother, and it is on, if you want to see pictures, I can't get a magazine in town. It's kind of like Bigfoot. But anyway, the magazine has lots of pictures, nice article in it. A friend is bringing me one from Boulder, and the greenhouse, it survived 2 major damages, one a big storm in that area, the other a big limb fell and almost took the greenhouse out. You can see it on Instagram or Facebook if you type in green and that bottom slash, no, I'm sorry, take that back, bloom bottom slash greenhouse. And the neat thing about it is one day my son found out someone was cutting down a tree that my dad had planted 60 years ago. And he said, I want that wood. So he made a long table and 2 long sideboards to go in the greenhouse. It's kind of, the whole thing has exploded. They have thousands of followers, and now they have to book people to come out and take wedding pictures and bridesmaids pictures. Companies have contacted them wanting to partner with them. So it's just turned out to be an amazing, amazing thing. So look it up. It's all just really pretty and beautiful. They have beautiful sunsets and sunrises there. So you'll see some really nice pictures. So Mike, I did send you a check. I have not been to the mailbox in about 6 weeks, it seems like. So I don't know if it has gone out or not, but eventually it will.
Hey, it looked really great on Facebook. I was really impressed.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you saw it. Yeah, they really, it was about a 3-year process, I think. I'm not sure.
Okay, where is it?
It's south of Muldrow, and Muldrow is just right off of I-40 as you're going to Fort Smith, Arkansas. I know Mike knows that area really well. And so it's just south of there, in the country, as you would say. And if you ever go down that way, we'll just take the Muldrow exit and make a right-hand turn and another right and then a left, and it's down there.
Cool. Yeah, Barbara sent me a picture of it, and I'm on a different computer, so I can't, otherwise I just share the screen and show it, but it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Kay. All right.
I have a happy buck.
Yes, Linda.
I'd like to give a big thank you to Carolyn McGay for posting on Nextdoor about the COVID shot. I went to the Walmart website and they were full up. So I called the pharmacy and told them that we needed our second dose. And within about 3 or 4 hours, they called back and said, come now. And we did. And I'm now vaccinated completely and ready to get back on an airplane. So thank you, Carolyn.
That's great. Yeah, I heard the other day that even Walgreens at like 80, someone said a Walgreens was, they had shots going bad. So they were just giving them out. Vaccination.
I think that's what happens at the end of the day. They just start calling people so they won't go bad. Also, Barbara told me yesterday about Jesse Poole, president of the Sand Springs Rotary.
No, James Spoon. James Spoon.
James Spoon. What did I say?
Jesse's like,
oh,
I
Jesse.
don't think
I
so.
was reading Jesse. No, sorry, Jesse. Yeah, and the Sand Springs Pharmacy, Spoon Pharmacy, has some. They get a limited amount, but he wrote me back yesterday, so I need to write him and thank him and tell him we already got him. But he said just call their pharmacy and they have a limited supply, but some.
Great. All right. Any other happy bucks? We're a quiet bunch this morning. Okay. Going. Gone. Okay. So the joke this week was actually sent to me, and it was actually sent, this is, I guess the credits go to Jack Freeze. And I'm going to say that because it's a good one. And it's a little long, so hang in there. On July 20th, 1969, as the commander of Apollo 11 lunar module, Neil Armstrong was the first person to set foot on the moon. His first words after stepping on the moon, that's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. But just before he re-entered the lander, he made the enigmatic remark, very kind of just under his breath, "Good luck, Mr. Gorski." Many people at NASA thought it was a casual remark concerning some rival Soviet cosmonaut. However, upon checking, there was no Gorski in either the Russian or American space programs. Over the years, many people questioned Armstrong as to what the "Good luck, Mr. Gorski" statement meant, but Armstrong always just smiled. On July 5th, 1995, in Tampa Bay, Florida, while answering questions following the speech, a reporter brought up the 26-year-old question about Mr. Gorski to Armstrong. This time, he finally responded because Mr. Gorski had just passed away. So Neil Armstrong felt he could now answer the question. Here is the answer to who was Mr. Gorski. In 1938, when he was a kid, so when Neil Armstrong was a kid in a small Midwestern town, Neil was playing baseball with a friend in the backyard. His friend hit the ball, which landed in his neighbor's yard by their bedroom window. His neighbors were Mr. and Mrs. Gorski. As he leaned down to pick up the ball, young Armstrong heard Mrs. Gorski shouting at Mr. Gorski, "Sex? You want sex? You'll get sex when the next kid walks on the moon." The kid next door walks on the moon. So he was saying, "Good luck, Mr. Gorski," because he walked on the moon. So Jack Freeze, everybody, Jack Freeze.
That kind of sounds like Jack. And I don't know Jack's on. I hope he's feeling better. I didn't talk to him this week, but okay, back to our shared screen here. February 20th, which is this coming Saturday, we've got 2 opportunities. It's supposed to be, I think, 50 degrees out there on Saturday. So I don't think the weather can be your excuse for not getting out and doing something. You got 2 opportunities Jinx Food Bank, and MSNI. So either one of those or both of those, whichever you would like to do, head out. And I know, get out of the house. I'm anxious to get out of the house too. So hopefully the roads will be great and get out and do either one or both of those things. I thought I'd post this. There's an article that Barney sent me yesterday. He sent me the whole article, but it's kind of lengthy. So I just want to do some highlights here. This is from the Wall Street Journal on February the 10th. And it's talking about polio in Pakistan and the fact that it's now starting to surge again. The emphasis went away from the polio vaccinations toward the COVID pandemic. So the vaccinations have not been going like they'd like them to do. And what was interesting was, I guess they have misinformation there as well, because they said one of their biggest problems was online misinformation on Facebook and WhatsApp. Elements of misinformation appear organized, and it soars whenever scheduled vaccination campaigns are on. So that's what people who are out there trying to inoculate these kids against polio are up against. Another thing, I thought that the longer column over there talks about some communities are so poor that they don't even see polio as critical to them. What they want are fresh water and electricity and the things that they need day to day, as opposed to a disease that they're not even seeing right now. So if you have access to the Wall Street Journal and want to read the whole article, there's some interesting charts in there that show how it's fueling up again. So I thought that would be an interesting update for us to be aware of. Okay, this is an update from me. Tulsa Air and Space Museum has been going through the process of being accredited, nationally accredited through American Association of Museums, and we're getting down to the very end of it. And I thought this was great. When they did the last analysis of what we've been doing there, they made a comment about our flight lab that Sunrise Rotary funded. So I thought that was terrific. That's a real plus for Tulsa Air and Space Museum. And I was pleased to see that they recognize the value that investment that we made in the flight lab has paid off for the kids and for the museum as well. Okay, last week, excuse me, we had nobody win. This week we already have a winner for the on purpose mistake in the fundraiser. So go in the chat room and you'll see who is the winner and what the error was. And as soon as I get back home again and get to Starbucks and get some more Starbucks cards, they will be one in the mail to them, and they are regular winners. Okay, this came across yesterday. I don't know if some of you newer Rotarians are aware, but there's a lot of educational coursework that's online. If you go on to Rotary and you do myrotary.com, you need to sign up and go to My Rotary and get your own sign on for that. But these are free courses, and these are some that were created for Rotary by Toastmasters. So those of us who are older probably don't need this kind of help, but younger people, I wish I'd had access to this as a younger person. There's some really good educational information out there, and it's all free, and Rotary provides it. So I thought I'd just let you all be aware of that if you were not. Okay, I think we are ready for Miss Ellie. So let me stop sharing. And Miss Ellie.
Good morning. I have a bucket. Don't look. And it is Don Watson.
I don't
think he's on this morning.
I don't think he is either.
Gotta be present to win. You snooze, you lose.
That's right.
All right, so we'll do it again. Still don't look. And it is Jim Milburn. I don't think he's on either.
No, I don't think he is either.
Okay, we'll do it again. Still don't
My
look.
name will come up eventually.
People shouldn't be sleeping. Of course, maybe they're out shoveling. This is Bill Lawson. I don't think he's
Yeah,
on
no.
either.
Bill Lawson's on.
Oh, there he is. Hi,
Yeah.
Bill. Okay, pick a number.
Show me what's available.
Just about anything is available.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great. In that case, I'm thinking that 37 looks good to me.
Okay.
It'll finish that column.
Here's
And bingo.
7. It's the ace of spades and not a joker. I'm sorry. Try again next week.
Thank you, Ellie. The pot will just be bigger next week. That's all. Okay, what's next on our agenda here? This is good news. The numbers have not been great, but now they're beginning to go down. If they continue in this trend, it's possible that we'll have an in-person meeting before the end of my presidency, which I really, really hope. So let's keep our eye on that. I know last week Janet said they had turned one of their floors from being a COVID floor into a regular floor at the hospital. So things are looking up as the numbers go down. So we'll just keep our fingers crossed on that one. Okay, Tim, Rotarian of the Day, I'll hand it to you.
All right. Well, we're very fortunate to have Tiffany Egdorf with us today. She is the president and CEO of Lindsey House, whose mission is to teach women with children the life and financial literacy skills to become self-sufficient. During her 9 years with the organization, she has started and directed multiple programs, grown the organization, and empowered families to flourish. She is currently responsible for overall agency direction, including a capital campaign, new building construction, fundraising, advocacy, and managing external relationships and collaborations. And in her spare time, she's a Rotarian as well. She has a Bachelor of Science degree from Oklahoma City University, a Master of Arts degree from Phillips Theological Seminary, and a Master's certification from the University of Tulsa. She is a graduate of Leadership Tulsa Class 53, Thrive Class 1, and the Rotary District 6110 Leadership Academy. She is on the board of directors for the Rotary Club of Tulsa and also for Leadership Tulsa. Please give a warm sunrise welcome to Tiffany. Tiffany, it's all yours.
Thank you. So I'd like to begin by saying thank you for having me. I can't even remember now when Roxanne and I visited with you all. Gosh, it's probably been at least 2 years, maybe longer. For everyone, 2020 just kind of skewed the entire timeline, didn't it? It's hard to know. Some things seem like they were years and years ago, some things just yesterday. I'd also just like to apologize. I know that we're striving for a virtual tour of our new building. One, we're not in the building today, our staff. I shut the office down Monday through Wednesday this week. I felt it was best for safety. All of us have the ability to work from home. And I didn't want my staff getting out into the temperatures of the icy roads. And we thought it might be a way to help conserve a little bit of energy, maybe avoid somebody getting their power shut off for a while. So, but what I am going to do, I already have somebody that's going to do this and help me with this. We're going to put together a short video, a walking tour of the building, and I will get that emailed to you also that you can then share it with your Rotary Club. And kind of see the progress that is in the building along with the apartment that you all are sponsoring. So we'll be sure and get that to you just as quickly as we can, probably sometime next week. And actually, you know what, it'd probably be better than me walking through the building, stumbling along, trying to figure out how to do tech and talk all at the same time. Tech is a big enough struggle, and well, sometimes walking is as well. So it'll all be good. So I thought today I would give you all just a quick update on where we are, and then certainly, I don't know what my timeline is, so I promise I won't talk too long. I'll leave you all time for some questions if you have any that we can ask, or you can throw in the chat box either way. So just to go over again what Lindsey House is, just in case anybody does not know who we are or what we do, very briefly. We do long-term transitional living for homeless women with children. Within that program for us, we do 3 major curriculum pieces: life skills, financial literacy, and workplace proficiency. all of those take 9 to 10 months to complete. And then the idea is with our women staying with us an average of 18 months, they learn those skills, but then they get to practice those skills in a real life way. They live with us, so they're 100% safe. They're not in danger of losing housing if they make mistakes or stumble along the way, which they will do. That's just life, especially when you're learning so much at one time. And then we are working on writing an additional piece of curriculum right now, our health and wellness, which is more than just healthy eating and, you know, don't consume too much caffeine or too many. It's not about that so much, but more along the lines of things that we find our women have never been taught. For example, when are you supposed to take your kiddo for their first dental exam type of a thing? Many women don't know that happens way earlier than most people take their kids. So as soon as teething starts to happen, it's good to take your kids. So we're working on that curriculum. So we'll have 4 really nice pieces. I'm not certain if the last time we spoke with you, if this had happened, but one thing we're very, very proud of, we've been able to partner with Tulsa Tech in the last couple of years. So all of our curriculum is certified by Tulsa Tech. Our women get a certificate from that institution, a transcript. And so I think it just adds a little bit more credibility to what we are doing when those folks leave our program and go back out into the real world. So that's all I'm going to say about the program in and of itself. Since last we met, we have expanded our staff and our services are growing. We're expanding not only our numbers within house, but also working in the community. We have some great relationships that are currently on hold because of COVID, but for example, we'll be teaching financial literacy to the sophomore class at Will Rogers High School. We were teaching financial literacy after school to elementary kids at the Dream Center, and have a couple of other opportunities like that we will be pursuing once we're allowed to get back in rooms with people safely again. So with that, we have certainly increased our staff. Now we have 6 staff members, and we will be adding another staff member in March to bring us to 7. And I think that's where we will be for a while. With that, we have restructured how we do our programming in that we used to have a case manager assigned to every family, and they followed that case manager. Those 2 followed each other throughout the length of their program. We have redone how we administer our curriculum and broken it down into different areas. So I have a financial literacy case manager, a life skills case manager. We have a facility staff person that works with them on the facility related pieces. And then I have an administrative program services person. So what that does for our families, we think is a really nice, well-rounded program for them. So they meet with all 4 of those people throughout the entirety of their program, some regularly, some not as regularly, but that gives them a better wraparound service so that we can make certain that those women are not only interacting with more people, which is part of the skill building, is communication and relationship building, but also it gives them, I think, a team feel that they feel like there's not just one person pulling for them, but they have an entire staff at the Lindsey House that's pulling for them for their success, and for them to learn those things they need to be self-sufficient so that when they graduate our program, they can maintain what they have achieved. So with COVID, obviously, we faced many challenges, as did all groups in town, nonprofit and otherwise. And so with that staff that we added, 2 of our new program people, those ladies, we added March 1st of 2020. And little did we know that 2 weeks into their new jobs would COVID hit, which really derailed and changed the way we had to bring them into the fold. But they stuck with it and are doing wonderfully well now. But it also kept us from expanding any further within our staffing needs, just because with all the uncertainty, it was a hard thing to do. Another impact that COVID had on us, which is part of the reason why the building is in the condition it is, our new building, we had lots of delays with construction. And so our building is not 100% complete. We are still working on several things, but the really good news is that it's complete enough that we moved our first families into the new facility mid-December. We were able to get a few families moved in, and right now we have 16 families in that building, plus a few families that are still in our old building. So we've been able to provide services, expand services, and continue to do what our mission tells us to do, but we are still delayed on some of the construction pieces. And then in addition, COVID created a difficulty in funding for us and for every other nonprofit and for-profit, really. A lot of for-profits also suffering. And so that uncertainty of funding caused us to have to cancel all of our events in 2020. We have some scheduled for 2021 in-person events, and we really hope those are going to happen. We'll be sure and get dates to everybody, but looking to do maybe a 5K in the summer, which could be in-person or virtual. But we're doing our big flagship fundraiser in October, along with our splashy grand opening of the new building. We decided just to push it all to to October, and hope that we'll be able to actually gather in person and see all the smiling faces that have made this journey for the Lindsey House possible. And then the other piece that I will talk about with COVID that impacted us greatly is just working around the in-person thing. The services that we provide, yes, could be done in a number of ways, but one of the things that's critical to the population that we serve is that face-to-face interaction. So we just, at no time did Lindsey House shut down. We have been 100% in service, staff in the office since day one of COVID, and we will continue to do so. We did obviously make some different arrangements. We flexed some staff time so there were less in the office. We have blue spike tape all over the building to say, don't get any closer than this. We have masks that are still required today, when we do our meetings and that type of thing. But extraordinarily blessed that we were able to put those things in place and still be able to meet with our women, which is just a critical piece. I know that there are other nonprofits in town, some partner agencies that we work with that didn't have that luxury to be able to meet in person. And we have seen that it has made a difference in the success of some of the people we serve that are they're in a critical place anyway. Maybe they're pretty new in their sobriety. Maybe they're just really struggling with the entire situation, and knowing that they have somebody that they can sit down 6 feet across the room from, but still in person, look them in the eye and say, we're still here to support you, has just been a critical piece. I think that we would have lost many of our women to relapse or to other situations if we had not been able to do that. The combination of being the only parent in the home, trying to hold down a job, trying to teach your kids virtually from home, it has been a challenge. Again, not just for our women or our staff members, it's a challenge for everyone. But happy to say that overall, I think that our program participants they're troopers. They've done extraordinarily well in the face of all the changes that they have been presented this past year. So the new building, which we are so excited about. And again, I promise you a little video snippet so you can start seeing the progress in the building. Sunrise Rotary is one of our apartment sponsors, and we are so thankful for that. We'll be sure and get pictures of that apartment as it is set up so that you can see. We don't have a family in that unit just yet because our first floor is behind in construction from our second floor, and the Sunrise Rotary apartment is on our first floor. But it is finished now. We just have to get it, complete the furnishings, which are also on site. We just have to get it all set up. And I do believe that we have a family we just interviewed that will be going in there in the next couple of weeks. So we'll be certain to let you know who that is and who they are and what they look like, and let you know how your support is impacting that particular family. As I said before, the building is open but not complete. But I would say that if any of you are interested, we are happy to provide in-person tours also at this juncture. Happy to do that. We do it in small group, and we require that everybody be masked at this time. But happy to have you on site and show you what we have ready to date. One of the things that I try to talk to the staff about and that we concentrate on is the future, and not looking back at 2020. Let's just try to brush that one under the rug and move on with what we can. And 2021 has started out to be a little challenging, mostly because of the weather, but the future is bright for the Lindsey House and those people that we serve. We are still moving families in. As I said, we're at 1624's capacity in that new building. And I believe that we have the bulk of those folks already interviewed and identified. We just have to schedule getting them moved in. These past couple of weeks have made it a little hard to do our normal business. We continue to expand services, again, to the point I'm adding another staff member next month. Just our call volume is off the chart. The donations that keep coming in, almost overwhelming. And the interesting thing is we haven't put out any official, hey, we're taking donations. These are all just, word of mouth or places that I have spoken and people donating. And it's a wonderful problem to have, taking these things in and getting them either redistributed to our alumni community or to the people in the building if it's an appropriate need. Again, we are going to have events in 2021 to try to bring people in, let people know about this great work that we are doing and these amazing families that we are serving. It just makes a difference to have the support that we've had from the Tulsa community, and not only being able to continue services through this past year, but also to have the support in this new building that we have. I don't remember if I talked about it a lot the last time. I'm sure that you all are aware, since you all are apartment sponsors in this new building, but the new building is about 25,000 square feet. It has 24 apartments. It has a fitness center, laundry room, a great room where people can come and congregate. Have some rules around that right now, but hopefully in the future it'll be open congregation. We have a small children's activity and game area. We have a youth lounge for those finicky tweens and teens that don't want to hang out with everybody else. Conference room, our staff offices and corporate offices are also on site. And then we will eventually have a playground outside. We have almost 2 acres of land, so lots of room for the kids to get out and run around when it's not minus 15 outside as it was yesterday morning. But and then we'll also have a dog run that we're putting in. So knowing that we have plans to have service dogs, therapy dogs come and visit on site so our kids can have, and moms too, but especially our kids can have that experience and that feel good time with those animals. Let's see. And then there are also just other group and individual hanging out areas within the building, reading nooks. We have a library on site. A small library on site. We have a food pantry, a clothing pantry, and also a home goods and furniture pantry, which is primarily for our alumni and graduates. So since we furnish the apartments, those items they can't have while they're there, the furniture, but we have a very, very robust alumni community that is obviously ever growing, but very active. And we invite those folks to come back at any time. We've had 3 people come back in the last few months asking for a revision of financial literacy services, and we're happy to do that. But they're also welcome to come back at any time for whatever support we can give them, whether it's canned goods, it's further education, it's just support, whatever that is, we're happy to offer that to our alumni community. Celebrating 11 years in 2021, again, that alumni community has grown, but it is amazing to be able to see. I will have been with Lindsey House 10 years in May, and the very first person that I case managed, because I came in as the case manager for my first 3 years and then transitioned to this job that I'm in now, this role I'm in now. The very first person I case managed 10 years ago swung by the building just a few days ago just to say hi and let us know how she was doing. And that, no matter how bad of a day I might be having, for whatever reason, we all have bad days, everything is just gone when you have somebody that you worked with 10 years ago walk back through your door and say, I'm still thriving. I'm still doing amazing things in this world. My kids are great. I'm great. I'm making good choices. All of those types of things that makes every single minute that me and the rest of the staff have put into this organization worth it. I mean, I think it's worth it no matter what, but it it is a beautiful, beautiful thing to have that history now and know that what we are doing is still having an effect and an impact on our community in Tulsa. So those are the, that's kind of our update where we are. I did want to mention, somebody asked earlier, I believe it was Steve, asked about donations and bringing those by. So just if you do that, we're out of the office today, probably not a great day to get out. But generally my staff, somebody's in the office Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. But we are in the new building. So I will put in the chat before I log off our new address so that everybody knows that. We do still have our old building. Our board of directors actually meets this afternoon, and we'll very likely be voting and making some choices about what's going to happen with that facility, whether we keep it, sell it, do something else with it, that type of thing. So, but for right now, our entire staff and all of our other operations are in the new facility. So I did see some questions.
Yeah, there are some questions in the chat if you want me to read them. One of them says, do some of the families have a vehicle for transportation, or do you also provide transportation to their jobs?
Okay, so the general question is we do not, or the general answer is we do not provide transportation. Part of that is because it's that's part of their program, figuring out. So if Lindsey House isn't here, what would they do if we were not around? We help them identify all of their alternatives. And so, you know, whether they have to ride the bus, it depends on where they work. Part of it, you know, we try to coach them through that. And for example, if they don't come in employed, we try to talk to them about where are you looking for a job if you don't have a car. You know, our building is near Pine and Peoria. So if you get a job in Tulsa Hills, what does that look like trying to ride the bus to something like that? Could you get a job that's a little closer to home in the time being? Now, I'd say at any given time, about 50% of our women have their own car transportation. We have some pretty strict rules around that too, financially, and how that operates. But I do find that by and large, our women are very resourceful. They get to know each other. They help each other back and forth. They ride the bus. Some of them have family members that help them out. Now, if they are in a bind or have a very specific situation, staff is at liberty to help them. But to provide transportation regularly, we do not do that.
Here's another one. Is virtual learning from local schools organized in any way among residents since some are working mothers? How is that working?
So the bulk of our kids, it is possible, I have a couple that are not in Tulsa Public Schools. The bulk of our kids are TPS right now. What we are experiencing with our women is that they are in so many different schools and so many different grades. There is not organization within our, so I mean, I don't have like 5 or 6 moms that could administer the same class time. I mean, I have one mom that has 3 kids, 3 elementary age kids, and all 3 of her kids' school schedules are completely different because their teacher, and even though they're in the same school, those teachers do their schedules completely different. So it has been very, very difficult. I mean, almost all of our women have either had a significant reduction in the hours they are able to work, or they've lost their jobs because there's daycare is not available. And even if daycare were available, they don't administer school for you. So this virtual school has been devastating to the success of our women being able to work. So what we've done with that is try to work with them better. We've allowed some to extend their time with us. We haven't given them the hard and fast 18 months so that we can, so that they can still achieve their goals and do. But virtual school has been incredibly devastating to our families, especially a single parent home. And I mean, that's just the ones that I see in my building. So I know that that's happening throughout the community. And then the other thing that most people do is that they have to make the choice. Our women cannot leave their kids at home alone during the day. It's against our rules. It's a safety issue, but that's what we see a lot of parents in the world doing, is just leaving their kids at home, hoping they log on to their classroom. And then I have some alumni families that they're just like, you know what, my kid hasn't learned anything this year. I'm holding them back a year. I mean, they just sort of made the decision that they really just didn't get school this whole school year. So it's been difficult. That's probably way more than you wanted. And
no,
just real
that's
quick,
really good information.
yeah, our address is 1607 North Hartford. I just saw that pop up.
Is there childcare available on your campus? These are two questions together. Childcare, and then what types of items do you need for the alumni?
Sure. No, we do not offer childcare. Number of reasons for that. Number one, if you officially offer childcare, you have to be licensed through the state. You have to have a certain amount of staff to child ratio. I mean, it's a pretty big deal to officially be a childcare provider, which is not something that we do, and honestly, we don't want to do. Now, organically, many of our women offer childcare to each other. You know, hey, I'll watch the kids. Here's my grocery list. You go to the grocery store, you know, or I'm happy to watch your kids for a few hours while you do. It happens organically. So in that case, they do help each other out, which is really great. But Lindsey House does not officially offer childcare. One, just because, again, the licensing, the expense, and the liability is enormous. And then types of items for our alumni. We're pretty good on food. We have a couple of food partners that fill our pantry, so we're good there. Any kind of household item, though, those are the types of things that our alumni often call and say, you know, my kids were roughhousing and fell on the coffee table in the middle of the room. Do you have any coffee tables in your pantry? Or do you have a dresser or a twin bed or, you know, whatever? And if we have them, they are welcome to them as long as they come and get them. That's our only requirement from them. So any kind of furniture, gently used furniture, household items, you know, those things that you and I use all the time, eventually they wear out and break. So, I mean, dishes, pots and pans, coffee pots, toasters, they don't all have to be brand new. We would like them to be in working order, of course, but yeah, pretty much anything. And then all those other things that are disposable items that we use, like toiletries, dish soap, dishwasher detergent, dish rags, you know, all those types of things that, again, we all use in our household. If you're looking at it in your kitchen right now or sipping that coffee mug or whatever that is, those are all types of things that we can use and that we pass on to our alumni readily.
Great. Thank you. That's good to know. Someone made a comment that your old facility may be prime real estate and could go as a fundraiser.
So, I mean, and, you know, again, our board of directors, this is their decision, obviously, is the fiduciary folks that run the organization. We have had recently multiple offers on the building, and so that is something that will be discussed today at our board meeting. So we agree that our old building is prime real estate, and kind of what we've been doing is weighing the options. What would it cost us to fully remodel the building and keep it in service for us versus what could we potentially sell it for, and then invest and use that money maybe to build something else on our campus that we have to keep it all tightened together. So thank you for saying it's prime real estate. I love that. That's a good thing to hear.
It says, are any of the women childless, or do they have to have children?
They have to have children. That's the original founding directive from our founding board from 11 years ago. Now, one of the things that we're looking at doing is expanding programming in the future. And that's one of the things we're looking into. One, working with men with children. So kind of a Lindsey House model, but for men with children. Again, I'd have to have a completely different facility for them. But then also maybe working with just women that don't have children. But right now they do have to have at least one child in their custody or working on getting custody back.
Got it. This one says, when is your curriculum offered? And I'm not sure.
So meaning within our program to our women or to the community?
Joy, do you want to expand on that question? I think it was Joy. Are you there,
I was
Joy?
wondering, is
No.
it offered a couple of times a day? Because I don't know when the women have the opportunity to work. So is this something that they're doing like after they get their children fed, or when do you take financial literacy classes?
Sure. Okay. Just great question. I just want to be sure that I answered it correctly. So all of our case management is done one-on-one. We do nothing in the class setting. And the biggest reason for that is the success is greater if we can tailor it I mean, we have a curriculum checklist for each one of our areas. But if we can still individualize that, so if, you know, Betty has a really difficult time with lesson number 1, but Anna's just flying through lesson number 1, we don't hold anybody back. We work on it with as long as we need to with any person, but move on if we don't. The other reason none of our stuff's done in a classroom setting is because our women are coming in at any given time. So I could have somebody that's been in the program for 3 months, somebody that's been there 9 months, and somebody else 15. So I can't, us to try to create a classroom situation, it would never work. So everything's one-on-one. Case management is scheduled with each of our women weekly. So it varies. Everybody's work schedules are different. So it is on my staff. It is their responsibility to find a time to work with the women. We would never ask them to, you know, not go to work, be late to work. We say, okay, Amy, what's your work schedule? And my case management team finds time within Amy's schedule then to do her case management. So it is offered whenever it is convenient to the women. That's when we do it.
Great, thank you. I don't think I see any other questions, but looking at the time, we do have a few more minutes. So if there's anybody who wants to go off mute individually, if you have any more questions, otherwise I'll turn it over to Barbara. Any other questions? Okay. Barbara, you're on mute. Barbara, you're on mute.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Tiffany. I did not know all that Lindsey House did. That's really interesting. And the fact that you do so much one-on-one, that's got to be a very successful model for you to do. So I appreciate learning more about it. I'm looking forward to getting the video so we can share that with the rest of the group here. So typically, and as you've spoken before, you know, we probably give a coffee cup to our speakers as a thank you for speaking. And in the time of virtual meetings, we're not doing that. But as Rotarian, you do know that in our heart is trying to eradicate polio. So what we are doing is making a donation in our speaker's name to Rotary International and for Polio Plus. So that will go out from our treasurer at the end of the month for all our speakers. So thank you very much, and know that you contributed a little bit to that, as well as giving us some more education this morning. So thank you very much. If nobody has anything else, I'll leave you with this comment from Mahatma Gandhi. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. So I think that's good advice. So see you all next Wednesday, and it should be a gorgeous day. We're hoping.
Yeah.
So thank you all for joining us this morning. Have a good week and see you next week.
Thanks, everyone.
Good to see you all, my friends.
Thank you, Jim, for getting up early.